Hi everyone, my name is Penny from Wacko Witch Astrology, and today I'm here to talk to you about numerology. Now, numerology is the study of numbers, but also the study of letters and what they mean, how they change our perspective, how they influence our lives, and why we choose to use them in our names, businesses, and our words. So, this can be used for word interpretation as well. You don't always have to whip out a dictionary. If perhaps you are savvy enough with your numerology of letters and you study up on all my videos, you won't need a dictionary anymore. Or you could just make up your own meaning for words like I probably did when I was 5, but that's another thing. So today we are talking about the letter T. T. What? Okay. So T is the 20th letter of the alphabet, and it's very top heavy. Like, go figure, top starts with the letter T. Yeah. Okay, so some names that start with the letter T are Tasha, Tiffany, and Tanya. We also have Travis, Trevor, Timothy, Tyrone, and Tony. Words that start with the letter T include top, turn, trivial, titan, temperature, tragedy, tyrant, tickle, think, and thorough. So I think that think is really a very big and important word for the letter T. The letter T is all about what we think, and a lot of times it can be that we're stuck in our heads, but it's also about seeing the different sides of each story and trying to see the full spectrum of things, seeing different people's point of view and trying to be fair and balanced within that and being as fair as we possibly can. But people whose names start with the letter T, they might serve as a bridge between worlds so much, and they might be working as the middleman so often, trying to sort out fights, trying to get other people to see from one another's perspective so much that they just get kind of sick of it. They get kind of sick of the bullshit and they start to get a little bit of an attitude about it, and they're like, you know what, both your sides are freaking stupid and I don't want anything to do with either one of them. So that is a legitimate reason why people whose names start with the letter T might start to become a little impatient and a little irritated with the way people are behaving. So I would say that given the shape of the letter T and the fact that it's just very angular, it's almost like the opposite of a circle. So almost the opposite type of attitude as opposed to what the letter O would have. They see things as being kind of black and white. Like either it happened or either it didn't. And they see a need to put labels on things so that we can simplify them and so that we can understand them more easily. So people whose names start with the letter T are good at simplifying things in terms that other people can understand. And part of the reason why they need to do this is because they need to be able to serve as a translator. And as long as they can transport that information from one person or from one location to another, that's all that really matters to them. And, a lot of times it might feel like kind of condensed, or that it's made into something that's more trivial. It might feel like they can take a lot of really heavy topics and turn them into something that's kind of trivial. But that's because the letter T comes about when things need to be simplified, when they need to be simplified. So we take this information and we carry it to a different place, and it might look like such a smaller amount of information than what it actually is. Like we're making it more compact so that it can travel, so that it can get to people and be easily digested and easily understood, and then it can come out into something bigger once again. And obviously that's a thing, but then people whose names start with the letter T, because they're doing this and they're making everything sound a little bit more trivial than it actually is, a lot of times they can come across as being insensitive. Which is kind of ironic because they're the ones who are always listening to everyone else. And yet somehow we think they're insensitive just because they are trying to simplify things for others. So it's kind of a silly concept. Another word I didn't point out that starts with the letter T is Trojan, like Trojan horse. And obviously there's that concept of almost kind of like sneakily transporting something that was very powerful into something that looked maybe perhaps trivial, I guess you could say. But yeah, I would say people whose names start with the letter T, they are transporters or transformers, maybe. I don't know. Do you feel like you transform into anything if your name starts with the letter T? Let me know in the comments below. So they are able to serve as that kind of bridge between worlds, but they do end up coming off as insensitive, like I said. And they understand that everything is a matter of perspective. Everything is a matter of how we are thinking about it. And they know this because they themselves do it. They tend to get very caught up in their head, but they see that everything that's in their head finds a way out into the real world, finds a way to manifest in reality. So they know almost how easily things can change just because of how people are thinking. They know the power of thoughts very, very well. And, once something's in your head, it's basically inevitably just going to fall down into the real world. Sometimes even on accident. So you might feel that you have kind of poor control over your own thoughts, or that it's hard for you to hide your feelings if your name starts with the letter T. But yeah, T is very good as serving as a bridge between worlds. So if you are naming a business or an organization or something, and you want to include that kind of aspect of unity and being able to see things from multiple perspectives, it might be good to use the letter T, but also keep in mind that it can come across as being insensitive. So be mindful of which letters you are pairing it with, and perhaps try to use more sensitive letters along with it, and keep watching the rest of my numerology videos if you need to understand how the rest of the letters in your name or the words you are using are affecting that word or name and its meaning. So anyway, hit that red subscribe button so I can see you again. Otherwise, I might miss you and be very sad that you didn't subscribe to my channel. So I hope to see you again. If you want a reading, you can check out my website. I'll put the link in the description below. Bye, everybody.